guys, it's IDW, and today we are finally back in our programming language function series, and today we're going to be doing a really quick video about stacks and queues, which are a really simple kind of program that is a tiny step up from the program that we went over in the last episode. So, stacks and queues are also a really fundamental kind of program in that they're going to be used all over the place, and we're going to keep coming back to these things. So it's important that we learn them pretty early on. So, what on earth is a stack? Well, the answer is that it's a really efficient way to store information if you just need to put it somewhere. So let's say that you have a whole bunch of information and you need to store it somewhere really quick. And like in the computer that we use in this series, which is the computer from my Building a Redstone Computer series, you only have 4 registers. And storing information in these 4 registers can be really hard. Well, the most efficient way to usually store extra information is to use what's called a stack. So, a stack has basically 2 commands, and it's a large piece of memory that you have said that if I do my push command, then I'm going to take some value and I'm going to put it on top of the stack. If I have a pop command, then I'm going to take a value out of the stack. And it's very similar to if you have a stack of paper on a desk. It's like you have a really messy desk and you need to organize yourself. So what you do is you just start picking up papers and putting them onto a stack. And then you can take the first piece of paper off of the stack whenever you need to use it. So it's going to store information in a last in, first out method. That means that whatever number you put into the stack last or latest is the first number that you're going to get out. So if I was to pop the numbers 5 and 2 onto a stack in that order, then if I was to pop, I would get a 2 out. So now we can talk about a queue, which is a similar thing, and I realize I spelled it different in the start of this slideshow, but that's just me being stupid and lazy. But anyway, it's very similar to a stack, and the only difference is that it doesn't do it in this last in, first out method. It does first in, first out. So that means I would take the paper off of the bottom of the stack. So how exactly would we do this in a program? And the answer is it's pretty darn simple. So now let's say we want to push a number onto a stack. Well, what we would do is we would take the information that we want to push onto the stack and we would move it to wherever the stack pointer is pointing. And then after that, we would add 1 to the stack pointer. Now, it should be very obvious what this is doing. We're taking whatever number address our stack pointer is pointing at, and we're going to move the information in there. And then after that, we're going to move our stack pointer so that it's pointing at the next address. Now, if you want to pop, it's pretty simple, and you can probably guess how it's going to work. You're going to take the latest value, you're going to save it wherever you want to, and then you're going to subtract 1 from the stack pointer, so it's pointing at an address 1 that is 1 thing back. So, all in all, pretty simple. And again, a queue is a bit more complicated, as you could probably guess, because you have to have more than 1 pointer going on. But for the moment, we're only working on stacks, and stacks are also usually a lot more practical than queues. Queues have their own uses, but we're not going to talk about them today. But the last thing we're going to talk about now is pre- and post-increment instructions. So these are instructions that you usually have in modern computers, and some Redstone computers have them. Almost all of them don't, though, so that's an important thing to keep in mind. And this is also something that you might not think of when you're trying to build a Redstone computer, but is something that you might want to include. And pre- and post-increment instructions are basically instructions where you will use a pointer, and then after you take the information from, or rather you will use a mode, and after you take the information from memory, then you're going to either increment or decrement the register that you called it with. Sound familiar? Well, it should sound familiar because this is exactly what you need to do when you're using a stack or a queue. Or mostly a stack, but it makes sense, right? It's just a really simple way that you can compress this these push and pop instructions into just one instruction, and it makes it really easy to use stacks if you have these pre and post increment instructions. So yeah, anyway, that is about everything we're going to be doing today. We're going to be looking into a program on our Redstone computer very soon on how to actually build a stack. But until then, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.